Hello, everybody. Dr. Moser of Structured Chiropractic, and today we're going to be going over some things that I want to put an end to. If you could tell by the caption, I hate Susan G. Komen. I think she's the devil. I really do. Megan and I went to a Steeler game. Against the? So I went to the Chiefs, and I don't even remember what game it was, to be honest. Anyways, at the Falcons game. So we go to the game, and it's the first game of October. So what is this month? It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? So what is everybody receiving when they go into the stadium? They're receiving this nice pink-free terrible towel that is brought to you by Susan G. Komen. She has her name, emblem, and everything tattooed on everything across the board, from license plates to flags to terrible towels. I mean, really, to me, that's sacrilegious because I love my Steelers, and the terrible towel stands for something that means something very well. And when you basically stack on Susan G. Komen, it's just like tarnishing everything that the Steelers were founded upon. Basically lies and cheats and just, I don't know. Anyway, so getting back to what I'm on here for. So basically that fueled me up a little bit. I got a little bit frustrated. I told Megan I was going to do something pretty drastic. I actually told all our other docs that I was going to potentially do something pretty drastic. But backed off on that. Might still do it, but but anyway. So talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm going to be going over some studies today on Breast Cancer Awareness Month and what this is raising awareness to and sending money towards. This is something that frustrates the crap out of me because if we look at this here, I'm going to put this on the screen. Susan G. Komen, Race for the Cure. So she doesn't know her butt from her elbow, basically. So when we talk about Race for the Cure, first off, you cannot find a cure for a terrible environment and a cure for your terrible lifestyle habits. That's first and foremost. So if you have cancer, bless your heart, think of it as an opportunity to do complete 180 to go in the other direction to change your life. Because if you keep living the same lifestyle that gave you the cancer to begin with, and you think that you're okay because you got chemo and radiation and you rung a bell and you're cancer free, you've been lied to. And it will come back again, and it will come back with vengeance. So for you to be raising money to find a cure is just asinine in and of itself. You will never find a cure for cancer because the cure lies in what you put in your body on a daily basis. And there's no pill, no vaccine, no miracle drug that I can give you that will totally eradicate all the damage that you put in your body or kill off the yeast or remove the parasites or remove your addiction to sugars and candies and all kinds of other treats. It is up to you to take responsibility for your health. So now when we see this whole raising awareness for breast cancer, what do they typically push on people? When you're talking about raising awareness, the big thing that they're talking about is raising awareness through what? Through mammographies. So mammographies have been used for a while now, and they have done nothing but give a whole crap load of false positives to women who suspect or have been told that they have breast cancer, or they are at that age that they may become susceptible to breast cancer. So what do? They subject themselves to smashing their boobs in a machine to try to see if you have a positive for any type of breast cancer. And in doing so, it allows you to be set up for a biopsy to figure out if it is cancerous. First off, let's think about cancer. Cancer is an adaptive mechanism in the body to make your body able to survive in a toxic environment that you gave it. Whether it's hormone related or immune system related or viral related, you name it, you put your body into that situation. You need to figure out the cause, the underlying cause for your specific type of cancer. And it's not a one size fits all. Now there are cancers that do have different things that are in common in terms of viral strains, HPV, things like that can cause a cancer to come about. But it all 100% comes down to environment, immune system, and getting that stuff under control. So pushing yourself for these breast cancer awareness and getting your mammograms and mammography screenings, what you're doing is basically opening up your body's walled off ability. So basically a tumor is a whole bunch of cancer cells that's sequestered or walled off and is not allowed to go through everywhere else in the body, okay? Now what's the most common thing that happens when people go through chemo and radiation, biopsy, excisions, and all that stuff is sooner than later, there's only a 2% success rate over 5 years. Sooner rather than later, you're going to come back with cancer spread the whole way through the body. And you're left thinking, how the heck did that possibly happen? Well, you never changed the internal environment that caused that cancer to come there to begin with. So you have to take responsibility of it and change it, okay? So now you go in, you find out that you have a tumor. Again, it's walled off. It has everything under control. It may be swelling, but at least the cancer cells are all internal. And you go in, you poke it, you cut it, you burn it, you try to mess with it. What you just did was allow all those cancer cells to come out of their little shell and go right in through the lymph, right through the bloodstream, and get carried out throughout the body. Now, it takes time for you to have a successful way to detect whether or not you have cancer in your body. Some people will say it could take about 10 to 15 years for you to show up positive on a mammography screening. What's a better thing that you can do? You can do a thermography screening, which is basically measuring your metabolic output on how fast and how hot your body's burning and churning, so that way you can figure out if you do have something that may potentially lead to cancer. You nip that in the butt, calm down inflammation, because inflammation is the root cause of every disease. You calm down that inflammation, you have a higher survival rate. Now, is it harder for you to take responsibility for your health? Yes. Does it take time? Yes. Do you have to change everything that led you up to that point? Yes. Is it going to be easy for everyone to do? Absolutely not. But if you want to truly be healthy, this is something that you need to take into consideration. Now I'm going to be exposing some of the truths of this stuff that we're going to be going over today. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to show one study here. All right. I'm going to go up here. So here we go. So I'm not even in the corner or anything like that. So you can see this. Basically, abolishing mammography screening programs. A view from the Swiss Medical Board. This is back in 2013. Okay. Got downloaded from the New England Journal of Medicine, NEJM here, in May 2014. Okay. So basically, what they're finding out is that they have too high of a diagnosis rate. Okay. It's not, hey, we're finding cancer better. It's that people are getting false positives for cancer. And what that's doing is leading you to get diagnosed and treated for breast cancer unnecessarily, which resulted in needless surgery, okay, surgical interventions, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and combination of these therapies. So basically what this is doing is people are saying that, hey, you have a false positive that's showing up on this test. Now what you need to do is go back and try to, you had a false positive, you had to go back and try to fix this issue. And again, you only have a 2% success rate over 5 years to cure cancer. These people are false positive, are basically being told, hey, you have cancer, even though they don't, but this still pads the stats of their success rate. That is absolutely terrible. If I told you that you have a 98% chance of death if you jump in your car and drive down the street, how many people are going to do it? They're not going to. So normal standard medical treatment is garbage. It's absolutely terrible because it will never change your internal environment. Can it kill your cancer? Yep. But can it kill your body? Yep. And what's going to happen afterwards? Your cancer will come back. Let's move on. Okay, so that's one study right there. I'm going to bring up another one for us here. Okay, let's see if this is on there. I got a whole bunch of studies here. Overdiagnosis of invasive breast cancer among 50 to 69-year-olds, okay, are estimated to be 40, anywhere from 42, so 42, and then about 30%. So overdiagnosis of invasive breast cancer attributed to mammography screenings appears to be substantial. This was in 2010. That other one was 2014. Can you see a theme that keeps happening here? These people keep coming up with these crazy gimmicks to try to get you to raise awareness and get screened so that way you can supposedly beat your cancer. You will not beat your cancer until you change your internal environment. I will beat that into your head till I'm blue in the face. Next, moving on to the next study here, okay? So, going into this one here. So researchers from Copenhagen found that women who had a false alarm on their mammogram, an abnormal result that is further tested with a biopsy and then determined not to be cancer, had a 67% greater chance of developing breast cancer in the future than women who had normal mammography results, okay? So not only are you getting false positives, but you're also getting tested for it and it's coming back negative. So you're like, oh, okay, well, I didn't have to get the chemo. I didn't have to get the radiation. Well, you have a 67% increased chance of you getting cancer now. So again, these people are damaging your body over and over and over again. And not only that, but you're paying out of your pocketbook. Your hard-earned money is going towards these treatments. It is only going to lead you to failure, and is saying it in their own freaking words that it will lead you to develop cancer at a 67% increased risk of developing cancer. So how ridiculous is that? Who wants to sign up for that? That is absolutely absurd, okay? So let's move on to the next one here. Get this one out of the way. All right. There we go. So, all right. So stop routine breast cancer screening. Science has shown that they do not save lives. So what does that mean? So basically what this is talking about here is going to be important to understand if we have a panel of medical experts, this is all medical research, this is all medical literature that basically is saying, hey, we're screwing up big time. This is all their study, this is all their work that are saying these things, okay? Early detection save lives. That is so wrong. They're telling everyone day in and day out, get detected, get screened. You're in your 40s. You have a higher risk of cancer. You need to get your hormones tested. I'm sorry, not even get your hormones tested. That was just default. So you need to do this, you need to do that. And all the while, what they're doing is giving you false positives for your cancer, and you're getting screened, you're getting treated, you're getting biopsies, and all of a sudden it's leading you to a higher risk of cancer further down the line. So this whole large lump sum of everything does not lower the breast cancer death rates at all for people in their 40s and 50s. So again, all of this research, all of this stuff that's being published day in and day out, this is in the New England Journal of Medicine, is saying straight up that this is not doing anything for us. It has not saved lives. It has not saved money. It has not had any increase in survival rate over the 5-year span. We've had the war on cancer for the past however many years, and Richard Nixon invested so much money, and we have accumulated so much money over the years that they're saying we still don't have enough. Keep giving us more. Keep giving us more. Well, guess what? For the past 30-some years, you haven't done shit with our money. The success rate is exactly the same as where it was before. The cost of treatment is even higher than where it was in the very beginning. So what is the positive to early screening? There is nothing at all, okay? If we're worried about cancer, we're worried about sickness, we're worried about disease, 1 in 3, 1 in 2 people are getting diagnosed with cancer, then screen yourself. If you're worried about having breast cancer, then maybe you should get yourself tested. Maybe you should do some food allergies. Maybe you should do a stool test. Maybe you should test your hormones. When should you test your hormones? Maybe as soon as your hormones hit their first burst as they're going through puberty. So stop this stuff, stop this sickness, stop this disease sooner rather than later in order to have the best success rate and never get cancer, never be one of those statistics. The option is 100% up to you. It is 1,000% up to you. You want to have a race for the cure, you want to raise awareness, get kids in our offices, get them to a Wellness Way office, get x-rays taken, figure out if they have any spinal misalignments or subluxations that's damaging the nerves, sending function out to an organ. Okay, you have your kids that are hitting puberty. Get their hormones tested. Make sure they're cycling properly. Stop putting these kids on freaking birth control at such a young age. Stop putting people on birth control for acne and skin issues and thinking that that's the cause of their problem. Fix the gut. Eliminate the GMOs. Eliminate the sugars, dairy, all that crap that you put on your body on a daily basis. Start living a clean and healthy life. Okay? I'm not telling you to be totally crazy drastic like we are, but what I'm telling you to do is if you get sick, it is 100% up to you to figure out what made you sick and then fix it. If you do not want to fix it, then guess what? We cannot help you. We get fantastic results across the board, but if you do not choose to pivot and do a 180 and move in the right direction, then your health is on your hands, okay? And the other thing, too, is have a strong support system around you, too, because if you start doing something from a crazy chiropractor that's telling you, hey, don't get your mammography screenings, don't do this, don't take this medication, don't do this chemotherapy, guess what? As a chiropractor, I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot do in the medical realm of things. All I can tell you to do is what I would do if it were me. And if you want to do it, if you want to talk to your doctor about it, then go for it. However, our success rate is much higher than where the medical realm is, and it hasn't changed. The medical realm has not changed that statistic in however many years they've been trying to fight this cancer. So again, this Susan G. Komen crap needs to go. We need to stop wearing pink. We need to stop feeling bad for people with cancer and raising awareness and raising money by bringing cookies and donuts and crap and garbage to these freaking fields. When I was at Heinz Field, I was going out to my seats, and halftime came out, went out to go leave to go to the restroom, and on my way back in, I saw a lady with next to no hair on top of her head. She was a picture of somebody who would have had chemo or radiation or something like that that caused the follicles in her hair to basically diminish, so that way she had some balding, she had the whole bandana and everything on. And what did she have in her freaking hands? She had a bag of M&M cookies. Are you freaking kidding me? You have a bag of M&M cookies, and you're going to ask for people to raise money for you to get treatment, even though you're going to continue to poison your body and basically waste everybody else's money. Not only money, but the emotions of everything that has gone on around you, because it's not just your health, and it's not just your emotions that people are tampering with. When you have cancer, when you have a disease, when you have a diagnosis, stop being selfish. It's going to affect everyone around you, because I'm sure that you're not in your life alone. I'm sure you have a loved one, a spouse, a significant other, some kids, maybe grandparents, maybe parents. If you're going to choose to just let your health go down the pipeline, go down in the trash, go into the sewer, then you are affecting everyone around you, okay? And if that's the case, then just pull yourself out of that environment and go somewhere else, because that is selfish of you not to change that to begin with. Now, the other thing you can do is eliminate the toxic influences around you. If you start doing things where what we say and you start getting results, people are going to wait for you to fall down. People are going to wait for you to have a down day. And people are going to say, you know what, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. Maybe you do need to get chemo. Maybe you do need to get radiation. And I'll say, maybe you need to jump into your car that has a 98% chance of crashing as you drive down the street. Think about the statistics. Use your brain. Use your logic. And if your doctor, if your oncologist does not tell you why you have your cancer to begin with and what you need to do to reverse it, then get the hell out of that person's office, because they will do nothing for you except take all of your money, all of your time, all of your heart, all of your emotion, and leave you poisoned from the end out, or from the inside out. Because ultimately what's going to happen, and I posted a picture of this on my Instagram. I saw a picture of chemotherapeutic waste. And on the back of the truck, if you go on my Instagram, there's a giant biohazard sign slapped on that freaking truck. So what that lets you know, again, using your logic, is that there's chemotherapy in that truck, and there's a biohazard sign on that truck. So chemotherapy in the truck would then indicate that that truck needs to say, hey, I have a biohazard in my car. It is biohazard, and the only place that's safe is to put it in your freaking body. Are you insane? Are you absolutely insane? So don't let people manipulate your emotions by fear, because that's all medical doctors will do. That's all oncologists will do. They'll give you a certain time period to live, and they have no freaking clue what your body is capable of. And all that's going to do is plant a seed of doubt that your body is incapable of it. It's out of your hands. And the only thing that you can do is take chemo, radiation, drugs, and just wait for yourself to die. Put your things together. Tell your family that you're going to be going downhill, and you're going to go to visit God here soon. Because ultimately, your body was designed to heal. Your cancer is your body healing. It is your body surviving. Figure out what caused your environment to change and go from there. Until then, seeing here, I have another patient coming in. Until then, research this stuff day in and day out. I'm going to be doing more videos on this stuff. I have a friend and a colleague of mine that sent me more information that continues to get me fired up day in and day out because of the shit that these guys are trying to pull just to get into your pocketbooks. So if you want a successful mode, or you want a successful treatment for your cancer, guess what? We're not going to treat your cancer. You know what we're going to treat? We're going to treat you. We're going to treat the causes that caused your body to be so toxic to build that stuff to begin with. And ignorance is not bliss when it comes to your health. Because I had a patient that just passed. Why did they pass? Because they had standard medical treatment, they had esophageal cancer, had liver cancer, and came to me last minute. I did an in-house phone consult. You know what pisses me off? Is that if somebody would have done these tests previously, if somebody would have taken a look and saw, oh my gosh, you have a yeast infection, you probably shouldn't be feeding sugar to this patient, and yet their family fed them sugar day in and day out, over and over and over again, we could have got to this person sooner, and we could have saved this person's life. But guess what? Because medical doctors are absolute morons, naturopathic doctors are absolute morons, and they don't know anything because they do not properly freaking test. This is where our lives are leading. This is why our success rate is terrible. Know this stuff, share this information, and if you don't like me, I don't care. I'm going to keep bringing this information to you day in and day out. So what I'm going to suggest to do is like this video, comment, share. If you know someone with cancer, if you're ticked off of me because I said all these things and I'm telling you to take personal responsibility, again, I don't care, but if it makes you feel better to comment on it, then go for it. So what I'm going to also propose to you as well is we're going to have a seminar that's going to be coming up. If we're talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, how about we talk about hormones? We have Dr. Patrick Flynn, a near and dear friend of mine, who's going to be coming to the Pittsburgh area on Friday, November 9th at 6:30. That's Friday. The reason I did that is because Friday night, nobody has an excuse. Make it a date night. Bring your husband, bring your spouse, bring your friends. Doesn't matter. Bring them out to this event. Go to our Facebook page, which I know you're already on right now, and go down to the link that says Hormone Connection and then the battle between the sexes. Okay? You can come and you can yell at me all you want, but this guy is awesome. He knows exactly what hormones do for your health. They call him the Hormone Whisperer, and again, he will make sense of something that is so abstract to most people, and it will educate you to be smarter than the doctors that you go to on a daily basis. So I'm signing off. I've got another patient coming in from Philadelphia, so I'm going to talk to you guys later. If you love me, put it in the comments. If you hate me, put it in the comments. Share it, like it. Talk to you later. Look forward to more of this.